Hello there. Today is Saturday here in Vancouver, and it is currently 12 p.m. And I'm making this video because, well, just feel like talking and documenting my journey of building the podcast and website. So why not let you guys have a little more insight to what I do if you're interested at all. First thing I want to talk about is a tiny update, I guess, a tiny update for the website and the podcast because, as some of you may have known, that around 2 months ago, on 24th of August, is like the 1 year anniversary for General Pursuit. So I basically revamped the whole thing into something new, a completely new operation and ways to put out content. Tiny update is that right now I'm in love with this new way to put out content. Before it's really, really messy. It's articles here and there, different series, podcasts is like not long enough. And I'd say overall not engaging enough. But now, because I'm more actively trying to invite people onto the podcast to have conversations, I just love I just love chatting with people. And I think if every time I get to talk about watches with people, or if I can find a way to document and record every conversation that I have with people about watches and whiskeys, this is gonna be awesome because I feel like I myself love to consume raw documentation of someone's life, or just a raw conversation, off the cuff conversation, just talking about your passion and love for watches and whiskeys, which is really fucking awesome. So yeah, recently I've been more actively trying to look for or invite people onto the podcast, and so far so good. I'm happy with the results so far. I enjoy each and every single conversation I had with you, no matter it's on Instagram, podcast, anywhere. Just every bit of conversation, I love it. I'm in love with it. And then, because now it's tidier, everything's tidier, my mind's clearer. And so I am slowly finding that love for making content again. Before, it's just like, oh fuck, I have to make it again, I have to edit again, I have to make a Instagram post again. Now I actually love designing the post. I actually love listening back to the conversation I had, editing everything. So that's good if you care. But yeah, just want to tell you that it is way better now. I love the new Gentleman Pursuit. Everything looks tidier. And I hope you enjoy the new version as well, like the podcast format, a sellout Sunday, like promoting something, and then the podcast segment, and then and I also, if here's an important thing, if you have any idea, if you have any questions for me, if you have any idea for me, please feel free to DM me on Instagram. My Instagram is always open. I'm always on my phone checking Instagram. So if you have any questions you want to ask me or want me to address in a podcast episode, do a little Q&A. I'm open for that. And if you have any idea of, or some what kind of content you want to see more, what kind of topic you want me to talk more about, feel free. My Instagram DM is open. It's super open, like the U.S. border. Okay. So, yeah, that's that. And then second thing is my recent discovery for my recent love and discovery for micro brands or smaller watch brands. After the conversation with Arno from MBNF, how he talked about sometimes, like, big companies have their own merits, but small companies, because they have to in a way make a name for themselves, they need to find different creative ways and groundbreaking designs to actually attract new customers. So in a sense, that in a lot of these small brands, you can see some really, really impressive things that you may or may not see in bigger brands. So these are some of the smaller brands that I discovered recently that I would love to share with you guys. First of all, me okay. Don't please don't quote me on this because I sometimes from their Instagram page or website, I may not be able to gauge if they're a big brand that I just never heard of or a small brand. So if any of these brands I mentioned are actually really big brands and really popular, please don't come after me. But I just want to spread the love and yeah, so show you guys what I found recently. So one of the brands that I found, this is from Canada, actually, a Canadian watchmaker. The name is Birchall and Taylor. This is what their watches look like. I'm gonna show you on camera right now. Really, really. Can you see? You can't see? I'll just include it in the video right now. It's right here or right here. So Birchall and Taylor. If you're looking for some high quality minimalistic watches, I think they're in yeah, high quality minimalistic watches because their dial design are always, they keep things simple. And one thing that stands out to me from this brand is their dial design. I think they use porcelain because it has enamel. So their dial is really glossy and it's not rough. It's okay when you compare a Seiko, let's say Grand Seiko Snowflake. It's kind of rough, but like detailed finish, but it's kind of rough. Compared that to let's say a Crador. So Crador, they use a porcelain, right? So it's like glossy and shiny and smooth. So Birchall and Taylor, this is like one of the thing that stands out to me. Really, really nice on the when you look at it just from pictures. It looks really nice. They're from Toronto, so definitely go give this watch company or watchmaker a look. Birchall and Taylor. I'm gonna include that in the video description down below. Second of all, second watchmaker that I fell in love recently is called Sartori Billard. Sartori Billard is Sartory, Sartori, and then Billard Billard, and their watches looks like Ming watches. If you know the brand Ming, which is like almost the king of micro brands. So Ming watches, they look like Ming watches, but they have so much more variations to it. They have a green dial with Persian numerals, and then they have a blue dial, a salmon colored dial, and then blue and white, gray, maybe like marble, like so different. A lot of really really unique dial design. Almost it's almost like looking at furnitures. You know how a lot of furnitures is basically I feel like furniture and fashion and design, like watch design, dial design, in the fashion aesthetic sense, they share a common, similar vibe to it. So when I look at this brand, Sartori Billard, I can see a lot of, I'd say, furniture inspiration from it, just like the fashion brand Rick Owens. Don't quote me on this; it's just my personal opinion. But this is because of their design, their aesthetic. I I'm obsessed with this brand now. Obviously, way out of my price range, but if you like what I just described, definitely go check it out. It's Sartori Billard. Really nice watch. So yeah, go check it out. Just a little finding for me for the past like month. I These two brands really love them. So yeah, this is like a short video of me talking about my website and my love for watches, and also just a tiny note for you guys. So recently I did an episode with Josh Taylor from I Drink and I Know Things podcast and Facebook group. Definitely go check that out as well. And he mentioned that I should try Elijah Craig's small batch. I may or may not have tried that before, but because he highly recommended it, so I am going to buy it later for the Thanksgiving gathering that I'm going to go tonight. So I'm going to keep you guys updated on the tasting of it. I bet it's good. I mean, from an experienced bourbon drinker, I have high hopes for this. So I'm gonna buy that, and I hope you guys may or I hope you guys give this a chance as well. Elijah Craig small batch, really cheap as well. If you're from Canada, it's like $50. So yeah, go check that out. And this is the end of the video. Thank you for staying with me, listening to me talk for how many minutes now is this? Like 10 minutes. Wow, made the mark. 10 minutes. Thank you. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay hydrated, drink that water, and thank you. Also remember, follow, General Pursuits on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everywhere, Spotify, YouTube, subscribe to it. And once again, if you have any questions and any idea you want to tell me, please DM me. And if you want to come into the podcast, just DM me. I will make time for you. If you want to have a watch talk or whiskey talk with me, feel free, just DM me. Once again, thank you guys. I'll see you in the next video.